You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
So, if you're a founder, a marketing director, or honestly anyone just trying to stay relevant, you know the world is moving faster than ever. It feels like every single quarter there's this seismic shift, and the metrics you relied on last year are suddenly just, well, they're obsolete.
It can be exhausting.
It really can. It's just trying to keep your head above water.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why we're here on The Vocal Technologist, to track those crucial, often confusing signals that tell you where strategy is actually headed.
And that feeling of running on a treadmill that just keeps speeding up.
Yeah.
It's real. Our goal today is to give you a bit of a shortcut.
Okay.
We've collected a set of the freshest, most surprising market intelligence, and we're just going to distill the actionable nuggets. We're not talking high-level forecasts.
No hypotheticals.
No, none of that. We're focusing on what's working right now. Today, we're going to hit three big themes. This invisible shift in web visibility, thanks to AI, how the marketing funnel is evolving, and then some really surprising tactical data points you can use.
All right, let's start with the one that's causing, I think, sleepless nights for every content team out there. The web is becoming surfaceless. We're seeing this huge, measurable drop in referral traffic from large language models, even while AI usage is exploding. Clicks, I mean, the foundational metric for 2 decades are becoming unreliable.
And what's really fascinating here is the psychological shift this demands from all of us. Success is moving away from, short-term attention and transient traffic.
Right.
And it's moving towards something we can call persistence and visibility.
Okay, what do you mean by persistence?
Think of it like this. Your information, your content, it only survives by being so consistent and so useful that the AI models continually compress it and cite it in their answers.
So if you're not in that summary box,
You might as well not exist.
so if the whole era of just maximizing clicks is over, what's the single most important metric we should be tracking now? I mean, how does this work if the models are just eating the web?
You have to focus on driving mentions and citations. Forget visits for a minute. Mentions. And crucially, you have to know where these models are pulling their data from. Right now, that's heavily skewed toward platforms like Reddit and YouTube.
Interesting.
Yeah, so strategic investment there is critical. We're also seeing brands just dramatically adjust their publishing cadence. Take Webflow, for example.
Okay.
They're aggressively refreshing their existing website content at 5 times the normal rate.
5 times. Wow.
5 times. And that strategy alone boosted traffic on those updated pages by 40%. They're playing the persistence game.
That's a serious increase in the content maintenance budget, but I mean, a 40% payoff is pretty clear. And for the more technical folks listening, there's a mechanism being built to manage this, right? So to guide the AI.
Yes, exactly. The technical solution that's getting traction is this LLMs.txt file proposal.
Okay.
And it's not like a robots.txt file. It's not about blocking access. It's more of a structured way to proactively guide the language models, to curate for them.
So you're telling the AI, hey, look at this, not that.
Precisely. You highlight your most valuable content, your product pages, your case studies, to make sure the AI cites the material you think is most relevant. You're shaping the narrative before it gets summarized.
Okay, let's unpack that then. If traffic isn't the metric, and an AI agent is basically curating everything for the reader, what does that do to the entire buyer journey? The traditional marketing funnel has to be completely obsolete.
Oh, it is. It is. We're moving really fast toward what we're calling agentic marketing.
Agentic marketing.
Yeah, it sees the buyer journey not as a pipeline, with neat little handoffs, but as one connected, continuous system. The key difference is that AI agents, and I mean dynamic systems, not just chatbots, they qualify and route leads across all channels.
So this is way more than just automated follow-ups.
Absolutely not. These are dynamic systems. They assess a lead's fitness against what you could call an orchestration map. It totally blurs the traditional lines between marketing, SDRs, and sales.
So an example would be...
Okay, so if a lead fills out a form or clicks a specific link in an email or attends a webinar, the agent decides in real time if that person needs a sales call right now or a personalized outbound sequence or maybe just more nurturing content. It's all one engine.
That orchestration makes so much sense because the B2B buyer has almost total control now. I saw some data on this, and it's pretty stark.
It is.
B2B buyers complete something like 83% of their decision-making before they even talk to a vendor.
And they consume, what, an average of 11 pieces of content first?
11.
Yeah.
So if they're self-educating that deeply, what are they actually looking for in those 11 pieces of content?
They're looking for genuine expertise.
Yeah.
And they value content that actually challenges what they already believe.
Okay.
Research shows that 73% of buyers trust thought leadership content over anything that's, overtly promotional. And even more striking, 86% are actively looking for ideas that challenge their assumptions.
They want to be smarter, not sold to.
Exactly. They want the truth, not the pitch. Which means you have to pivot to deep specialization. Buyers prefer specialized firms. They rank subject matter expertise as the #1 selection factor. Generic content just won't cut it anymore.
All right, this is where it gets really, really interesting for me. Let's shift gears and talk about some of these highly tactical, kind of counterintuitive data points. First up, the psychological power of actually turning customers away.
Yes. This is one of my favorite findings, the power of negative framing. People are demonstrably more likely to choose a product when the ad clearly says who it's not for.
Seriously.
Seriously. In experiments, ads that use negative framing like, not for light coffee drinkers, increase product choice and engagement by up to 48%.
Wait, 48%? That's not a marginal gain. That's a paradigm shift in copywriting. So you're telling me if I tell 100 people not to buy my product, I might get 48 more sales. How does that even work?
It's about specificity creating desirability. You create a very specific barrier, which signals a really high alignment to the people who do fit the description.
Ah, I see.
And it implies the product is so good at solving one problem that it doesn't need to appeal to everyone. Specificity builds credibility.
Okay, so from psychological framing to video format, let's talk revenue.
Another surprising one, YouTube Shorts. They now generate more revenue per watch hour than traditional long-form videos.
More per hour.
More per watch hour. It's driven by strong ad performance and really high teen engagement. So if you're deciding where to put your video energy, the short-form strategy is delivering some pretty outsized returns right now.
And finally, let's talk about urgency in offers. We all think that the more restricted an offer is, only 30 minutes left, the better it does. The data says the opposite, the exact opposite. This is a great lesson in psychological resistance. Overly restrictive limited-time offers, or RTOs, can actually reduce sales by up to 68% compared to having no offer at all.
68% less. That's insane.
It's wild. People spent 68.3% less when an offer was only for 1 hour versus a full day. So the takeaway isn't never use a countdown timer. It's more like, don't make your customers feel like they're being backed into a corner.
Exactly. An LTO works best when it feels urgent, but fair. You want to highlight the regret of missing out, but you have to avoid those restrictions that just trigger this feeling that you're trying to trap them.
So if annoying people kills short-term offers, let's zoom out and talk about what actually builds long-term commitment. Marketers have lived and died by brand love for years, but new research is challenging that whole idea.
That's the core finding. Brand loyalty seems to be driven way more by practical factors, things like convenience and product performance.
Okay, practical. But here's the paradox I saw in the numbers. While 65% of marketers think brand love is the key, less than 25% of consumers agree. And you noted that only 5% of consumers cited convenience as a driver. Why is that?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Because convenience and product utility, they're now just table stakes.
The minimum requirement.
They're the absolute minimum for a relationship to even begin. Consumers don't cite convenience as a key differentiator because they just assume it's a given. What they value are the soft benefits built on top of that utility.
Like what?
Early access, exclusive events, that kind of thing. They want to be rewarded for their usage, not just, loved for their purchase.
This is exactly why the product is becoming the new marketing, and Loom is just the perfect case study here.
Loom is a fantastic example. They grew to 25 million users with almost no traditional marketing spend.
Incredible.
Their success was entirely product-led. They just made sharing a video incredibly easy with a freemium model and a Chrome extension. Every video they shared had their branding built in, so the tool itself became its own growth engine.
Utility drives usage.
Exactly. Utility drives usage, but a delightful, frictionless product experience. That's what drives the soft loyalty.
So if the product team is basically taking over branding, what's the career outlook for marketers in this new world? Where is the expertise most valued?
The market is definitely rewarding deep specialization. We're seeing compensation shoot up for specialized experience. For social media management, Salaries jump 12% for professionals with 12 or more years of experience.
So the veterans are valued.
The veterans who've adapted are highly valued. And B2B specialists are earning a premium too, bringing in about 10% more than their B2C peers. Navigating those complex, data-driven B2B cycles is a prize skill.
Okay, so to kind of synthesize the core message here for you listening, success really requires adapting immediately to this AI-driven, surfaceless web. That means optimizing for citations, not clicks.
And building those agentic funnels that orchestrate sales and marketing together.
Right. And maybe most fundamentally, just focusing relentlessly on product utility and convenience, because loyalty is really driven by practical performance, not just emotional claims.
Which leaves a really important question for you to think about. We've established that utility is just the price of entry, but that real loyalty hinges on a delightful experience. So, given that product is the new marketing, where are you designing those unexpected emotional moments? Or where are you removing the most painful friction points in your product to really drive that lasting repeat behavior?
We'll leave you with that thought. Thank you for joining us.
Until next time.
Spoken Tech for your ears.